so feel free to start whenever.
Sure thing, sure thing. Just let me, Alright, well, I guess I'm good to go. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is gold. It's golden in color. It's Game Boy Color game. Things. Stuff. Professor Oak is still the guy that tells you things, because why not? Meryl is pretty adorable. We don't know everything about Pokemon yet, so... Wow, I cannot type Cena today. Oh my goodness. There really isn't much that I could say about this game at this time. The only thing that I could really mention is our starter is Totodile. We set the time anywhere between 5:25 and 5:35 because the daytime allows us to catch a Sentret later. If we don't get that, then we have Sandshrew and Bellsprout available, and if we don't get any of those, then we have Oddish available. Which, on that note, that's why we do gold over silver, because silver doesn't have Sandshrew. So we decrease our chances of getting a cut slave. I mean, so I need specific stats for Totodile. If this were actual attempts, then I'd be very picky. For the sake of this marathon, I just want decent attack. I already saved earlier, so I don't need to save now. So if we get lucky and get this the first try, I can actually treat this like a single segment run. If we get female, it's an automatic reset. Generation 2 handles attack, DVs, and gender in a funny way. Females will always have the lowest attack. So I want 12 attack at least. That is a garbage Totodile. So I want at least 12 attack. I want to see double 10s at least for special, and I want to see 10 speed preferably. Really the most important thing is that attack. That's too bad of special, otherwise I would have taken it. Like, that would have been fine if it were triple 10s, I would have taken that. I would honestly prefer double 10 and 9 speed over what we just saw, because special is really important. Man, we're gonna be typing out Champ a lot. This is rough. Holy crap, it got worse. Okay, so this is gonna... Hopefully this doesn't take too terribly long. That's why I made the estimate super high. The problem with Gen 2 is you need a really good starter. You could get away with an average Nidoran in red and slightly above average in yellow, but you really, really need good stat. Oops. Wow! I was about to name him Chimp. Wow, I'm bad. Ha! Alright, there really isn't much I can say. I should name it something different, honestly, because this is getting bad. He's not even a champ. Like, he's just a chump. I'm gonna name him Chump now. Because he's not very good.
So how hard is it to get runnable Totodile?
The one that I want is typically 1 in 12. Marathon would be like 1 in 8 or 1 in 10. I hesitantly take you because we're just gonna reset for days otherwise. Wow. Claire, your keyboard's super loud. Alright, so that was actually... I would not normally take this Totodile, but... we had already spent a good 3 minutes resetting. So this is pretty straightforward. Because of our bad defense, I'm going to purposely fight a spinner later. So if I had good defense, I would fight a level 2 encounter on that route. And then I would fight a fisherman later so I could get water gun early. But because of our bad defense, we could actually use an extra level against Spearow, because Spearow really hurts. So we're going to fight a spinner on purpose, and that'll give us an extra level. So it's typically about 3 to 4 encounters to get to Mr. Pokemon's house, and that was, what, our 4th? So that's pretty normal. So if I had good defense, I would have fought the previous Pidgey or this Pidgey. Because fighting a level 2 gives you just enough to get water gun early. What? Well, then they're deaf for not listening. There is no spinner hell in this game, that is crystal. So story-wise, there isn't anything fancy happening. They're just talking about the egg that we delivered. We're gonna get a Pokedex, and we're gonna re-deliver the egg. And Elm, despite all his years of expertise in Pokemon, will be surprised that eggs can be a thing. So we get a free heal here, so that's typically why I want to fight something on the way up as opposed to down. But, yeah. So in a normal run, I would remove the berry that's attached to Totodile. Just to save it against the rival fight, but because this is a marathon, I'm going to play super safe, and I'm also going to pick up an extra berry. Level 4 Pidgey's bad because we could speed tie it and not run away because our speed is that bad. So we normally pick up this berry in a normal run. But I'm also going to pick up a berry later. Now, the question is, do I name the rival Lesnar again, or do I name him, I can name him The Rock.
I'm sorry, but I have to step in here. The Rock is superior.
Alright, we're naming rival Rock.
God damn you.
So this is a very important fight for multiple reasons. One, we need the experience, and 2, this helps me determine even further if I can run this Totodile or not. We're obviously running this no matter what, because I kind of don't have a choice at this point in time, but... So our berry is going to activate once he tackles us again. So we want to see at least 14 attack. That'd be swell. Nope, this is the most garbage... Wow. Alright, this Totodile is far from runnable. Let's go. This is horrible. So attack could be 13 or 14 at level 6. We obviously want 14. On a runnable Totodile, we would want to see... We would ideally want double 12s for special. If we saw 12 for speed, then we have max speed. Man, I'm so glad I named this Chump. This thing sucks. Like, the Chump is so real. So this is going to make some fights interesting, and I know this isn't something you're supposed to say in a marathon, but I didn't practice, so let's see how this goes. Let's see, the... Rock. Wow. And, okay, he's just the Rock. He doesn't even get his full name. We honestly might have been better off with the 9, 10, 10, but oh well. Oh no, this is going to be a train wreck. So the thing about Gold is Gold has the cooler route, but it's more of a route than a run. So there isn't as much variation as you would like to see in a run. It's not a bad run by any means, but it's pretty straightforward and it can get pretty grindy. Like, I'm definitely more of a crystal guy than a gold guy myself, but I would much rather show the gold route in a marathon because you get a higher level overall, so it makes it a little safer and there's much cooler strats. You're gonna see me deal with Abra, but not in the same way that Heinz and Worcester tried to deal with Abra. You're gonna see me be successful with it. So Sentret is good. We need a cut slave. That crit actually makes it kind of nice to catch him. His catch rate improved by a decent margin this way. But Sentret's going to be our cut slave. Like I had mentioned before, we set the time as early as it was, so it could be daytime so I could find him. I was tempted to nickname him, but I decided not to. No, you guys don't understand. That's not even a shot. This Abra is impossible to not get. It is far from not doable. Will I be introducing some center skipping strats? Well, we're gonna center skip some things because of the whole Abra thing. Oh, I wanted that berry. Oh well, we'll just talk to the guy. That's definitely slower, but I just want another berry. The only real crazy stuff about a Gen 2 run, I noticed somebody asked something about the only real crazy stuff about a Gen 2 run is how severely under-leveled you are and how scary the final fight is. Other than that, it's pretty acceptable. Like, you're higher level than everything for the most part. Okay, so this is slower than the berry tree that I wanted to go to, but I, out of habit, skipped it. Yeah, maybe it saved me an encounter, who knows. So this fight's pretty straightforward. The Rattata's gonna outspeed us because we have bad speed. DVs are the same thing as IVs, if that's what you're asking, except IVs are double the numbers. So instead of 0 through 15, IVs are 0 through 31. Man, this Rattata. This is such a bad Totodile, it hurts me. Okay, so this is the spinner I was talking about. I'm gonna purposefully fight him. So we're gonna get an extra level for Faulkner. Well, not Faulkner, for Abe's Spearow. Spearow really hurts on bad defense. Wow. Tackle is the best move. So this is why Totodile is selected over Cyndaquil. First and foremost, Sprout Tower isn't required. Second, Rage is a really powerful early game move. So if it weren't for Rage, then we probably would use Cyndaquil. There's a part in Crystal that's right above Whitney's gym where there's a ton of spinners. What spinners are, if you haven't seen any yet in the marathon, spinners are the, you know what? I'm just gonna let Mom call us because I'm too cool to open my... So spinners are the trainers that look in random directions. So I'm actually gonna be playing like super safety strat here, and I'm gonna center because I want to keep my healing items intact. Like, I just don't trust this. This Totodile is too bad. I have to take a lot of precautionary measures. So the best known time for gold is 3:18 by underscore. The world record is a 3-way tie between Worster, Keizaron, and myself at 3:20. Now the biggest reason why I took the center here to keep my healing items intact is because I'm going to be doing center skips. And since his Totodile is so bad, I want to make sure that I have the healing items to do that. I need to skip the centers because I need to keep my warp point. The 3:18 isn't considered record because it's on emulator. So if I didn't get that extra level with our defense, he would have been doing 8 damage instead of 6 damage, and it would have made the fight a lot more difficult. So the rest of the gym is pretty easy. It's just rage, 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 rage. This isn't exactly the right forum to debate emulator, so I would recommend not touching up on the topic for now. No, that's fine. I got it, Wasabi. Thanks, though. Man, this speed is awful. This Totodile is just trash. My goodness. Can you suck anymore? But just to kind of put this into perspective, I'm about 4 minutes behind on my splits. That's really awful. Alright, we won the first speed tie at least. We won the second one. Neat. This Totodile hurts me. It hurts me so much. I would hope you dream of me.
I thought you weren't looking at
Are you? The chat is right there. Alright, that was a range. If we didn't get that, then that would have been kind of shitty, but... God! This Totodile.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it?
Brock Lesnar.
Legit answer.
I can most certainly make it sub-estimate, Kevin. I should purge you for saying that. In fact, since I'm not doing anything terribly difficult execution-wise, I think I will. So enjoy your purge. So, I think how do I want to handle Rival 2? This is why bad speed is bad. Bayleaf is a huge choke point. Oh dear. Oh dear. I could fight a couple of extra things. I could do X speed strats. You know what? Nah, let's just go for it. Whatever. Big deal. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. Alright, so there really isn't anything terribly exciting about this run for a little while. Another big thing about Crystal compared to Gold is we can get a repel and go through Union Cave without any encounters, but unfortunately in Gold, it is not a repel because they shuffled the items, because why not? So we're gonna probably get bodied by encounters. The best part is how Kevin's taking it personally when it was a joke. Alright, our health is very valuable here, so I'm okay with the tail whip, but I'm hesitant because this Zubat has Supersonic. Just get Reflect twice, I wish. Alright, Leech Life is very good. I want to see Leech Life. Oh, nice crit. That saves us a turn. So the Pokeball that we're passing right there is normally a Repel in Crystal. I don't remember what it is in this game, but it's obviously not good enough for me to pick up, so we fought a spinner on purpose earlier, and the reason why I did that was, like I said before, we could either fight that spinner or fight a wild encounter. So this is Rolf. By beating his Goldeen, which is a really annoying fight, we get Water Gun early. There's a spinner in Union Cave that has an Onyx, and it's an incredibly difficult fight to win. That sucks. So our berry is gone, and we still have at least 2 more turns. Wow, this is really bad. Hopefully we just break through. Okay, Chump is in there. We did it. So because of getting Water Gun early, we're going to be able to deal with Union Cave a little easier. Lame. I don't have any real reason to kill this, I just felt like killing it. Nice. So that was the spinner. He has an Onyx, and like I said, that fight is incredibly difficult to win. I actually kind of wish I fought him. I might have needed it, but we might hit Benny instead, so it's whatever. If I could get 19 for the Bayleaf, then we stand a much better chance. Otherwise, we're gonna die to Rival 2 like 30 times. Another benefit of Water Gun is we get to sweep this fight pretty easily, whereas if we didn't get Water Gun, we'd have to use Rage. It's still an easily winnable fight, it's just really slow. The time for getting Water Gun compared to just like an optimal run and skipping it is only slightly slower, so to me it's worth the risk. Early Poliwag, please, underscore. So this guy's a spinner. No fun. I hope he's stuck. So I'm just gonna fight anything that I can kill in one hit. Be stuck. Yeah. I figured as much. I waited too long to buffer. That's fine. We could use the extra experience because of our bad stats. I'm going like super granny strats for this run. I'm picking up a couple of extra items. So if you notice the way that I'm trying to dodge this spinner, I'm trying to do it in a specific way. So spinner directions in Gen 2 are in pairs. So down and right are one pair, and then up and left is another. So if you're trying to pass him from above, you want him to be either looking down or right, because it's more likely that he looks down or right again. So right there, he was looking right, so I went for it, because his paired direction was down, but he quick spun us. I was a little slow on the pass, so I probably deserved that anyway. Not really sure what else to say. I mean, this is a Vulpix. We drown it with Water Gun. Well, that was rude. Our encounter rate wasn't... okay, never mind. Rude. Alright, our encounter rate was meh. It was pretty average before this, now it's just slightly below. Oh, he's stuck. Sometimes spinners can get stuck looking in a direction, so it's pretty nice when it happens. So we're flat out skipping this center, because if I go into the center, I'm changing my warp point, and I really don't want to do that. So story-wise, at this point in time, Team Rocket's back. They took over Slowpoke well. They're cutting off Slowpoke tails, etc., etc. Kurt's a dumbass and trying to save the day by himself. He probably doesn't have any Pokemon, but he probably has like acorns he can throw at them, I guess. I don't really know. Wow. Am I down inputs today? So I'm buying a 5th Repel here because I have the extra money. I want to avoid getting an encounter. And then on top of that, I need to heal anyway, so I need to enter my menu so it's not a huge time loss. I guess since I had a Repel, I could have talked to him, but habit. I don't normally use a Repel down here. The encounter rate is extremely low. You're so unlikely to get an encounter. So we are definitely over-leveled right now. In fact, I think I probably could have gotten away with scratches, but... Oh, we're speed tied too? Are you kidding me? This Totodile. I meant what I said. This is horrible! Incoming train... Win. Oh my... This is horrendous. Anyway. Man. This is a really, really bad Totodile. So we're probably gonna lose, like... We're gonna go over estimate because we're gonna lose 20 minutes to Rival 2. Zero speed. I might fight Benny on purpose. I might have to. I don't think I have a choice. That is correct, Black Hammer. Oh no, he used Wrap. Yo. Homie, cut it out. Don't you Well. Well. This is Pokemon Gold. This is going swimmingly. This is a great run.
So I know you're a crystal. What
Indeed.
are the big differences between this and between Gold and Crystal in terms of routing?
Well, first and foremost, you're... Oh, I should probably scratch from here. First and foremost, you are a higher level in Gold than Crystal in most situations. You're equal in a couple of spots, but Gold, there's more required trainers, whereas Crystal, most of the required trainers in Gold end up being spinners instead. So, in terms of trying to get times and stuff, Golds, you're more likely to get more consistent times, whereas Crystal is completely haphazard because of the spinners. Kanto route is a little different as well, which I'll touch up on that later. Trying to think what else. We use... I hate you. We use an Abra, which that adds for some cool strats. Am I gonna... Can you break... Hey, Chump, what are you doing? Unbelievable. Well, this has been quite the journey so far. So in a simplistic way, I would say the gold route is a little easier, whereas the crystal route is probably a little more exciting because of the variances.
But because of the higher level, then gold is the more consistent route, right?
That and the fact that you know what you're getting into in terms of trainers. The problem with gold, though, is when you do hit spinners, later on than the spinners that I've hit, they're just not useful, whereas crystal, a lot of the spinners give you valuable benchmarks. Wow, if you were good, you would have killed this thing already. Ah, dear. Perfect stats in crystal for Totodile are a lot more important than perfect stats in gold. Gold, you can kind of work around it a little bit. Man, this is rough. There's some minor differences here and there too, like you can get a Poliwag early in Crystal, whereas Gold, you can't. Items are shuffled. Gold has terrible sprites.
That's one thing I have noticed, the crystal sprites are a lot better.
Yeah, they put some effort into them. Why? Why? Why, game? Why? Why would you... Well... Fantastic. I'm confused already! Stop it! Like, Lediba in Crystal doesn't look like a hunchback. Spinnerack is green instead of purple. Like, if you poison me... Okay. The only differences between gold and silver are 1 frame in terms of a key item that you get, and then you can't get Sandshrew in crystal, not crystal, in silver. Gold is not faster. They're exactly the same speed. I mean, unless you count that 1 frame. Okay, if he's gonna use any sort of status, I would much rather it be Stun Spore, but... that's so bad. So I'm actually gonna save before him. Because I don't want him ruining my day. I really need... Man. I really need to not get poisoned. That would be swell. We're already out of antidotes, which is a problem. I want to keep my full heal for the rival fight. We pretty much need as much help as we can get. So this fight is pretty straightforward. This shows once again why Rage is a really good move. We're just going to build stacks. Now, I really need this Metapod to be cooperative and tackle me 3 times because we need as much help as we can get. Crit's fine. That's not good. Did I not save? Oh, shit. That's fun. Thought I did. Oh well. Don't poison. Okay, we win this fight. See, I didn't need to save. See, I totally didn't need to save. Good save, me. What's up, Lazy Jolteon? Rival 2. Rival 2, Rival 2, Rival 2, Rival 2, Rival 2.
So I've heard some horror stories about Rival 2. Is it as bad as what people say they are?
Rival 2 is one of the worst fights in Pokemon history. Bayleaf has a 1 in 4 chance to critical with Razor Leaf, and if it does that, then it's very, very difficult to win the fight from there. And since my speed is terrible, I think even though I'm higher level than I should be, I think we're only speed tied. Bayleaf can do 4 things. It can do Reflect, it can do Growl, it can do Poison Powder, and it can do Razor Leaf. I definitely want Reflect. Poison Powder Miss would be nice. Etc, etc. Just as long as it's not, you know, super duper mean. And on top of that, the only move that we have that's really effective against it... Oh dear. I don't remember which move to teach over, actually. I think it's Rage. Like I said, I haven't practiced. Go me. But the only thing that we have that's effective against it is the Fury Cutter TM that we just got. Both Razor Leaf and Fury Cutter have 95% accuracy, but for the AI, it's typically like 102% for Razor Leaf, and for us, it's about 37 for Fury Cutter. Alright, so this Ghastly can use Hypnosis, it can use Spite, and it can use Lick. I would much rather it uses Spite, because that doesn't affect us in any way. It got Hypnosis, that sucks. That's why I have my full heal. Okay, I'm resetting that fight. He paralyzed us with Lick immediately. That fight was destined for failure. You don't use Rage for Whitney and Gold. You only use Rage on good defense anyway, and we do not have good defense at all. So that was about as bad as that Ghastly could have gone. Like, we have a Paralyzed Cure Berry, but I'd much rather save it. So this is a speed tie. This should be fun. So we won the first one. We got Reflect. That's really good. We won the second one. This might be a range. Alright. We in there. Somehow. Some way. I cannot believe that we're alive. Perfect Ghastly would actually be Spite. Now this Zubat range is very finicky. It looks like we got it, but this has happened several times and he's lived on one. Alright, so I guess second try's a charm. That fight went really well. We won every single speed tie. I'm gonna have to buy 2 extra X speeds though. I need one for Blue later, and then I'll need one for Karen. Unless I heal beforehand. I'd rather just use it though, because Gengar on Karen can be pretty trolly. Yes. They are. So how many people are bored enough to actually be here? Like, how many people are actually in here? Real life Machamp, yeah.
So I guess the best question is, how long have you been the Supreme Galactic Champion?
Well, you see, it's a gift that you're born with. Claire's just looking at me. Don't you do that to me.
100% modesty. I love it.
Alright, so we go out of our way to get Headbutt here because Headbutt is very valuable for us. There's another difference that I could talk about. Crystal, we use Headbutt for a little while, then gets replaced with Strength. Whereas Gold, we have a completely different PP management. So we actually keep Headbutt for quite a long time. There's another difference between Gold and Crystal. There's a trainer up there for what it's worth. Nice movement. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and grab the bike. And that's why I shifted my menu all the way to the right like I did, because it's just going to be right there. I mean, it doesn't save any inputs or anything, it's just a preference. Some people don't teach Headbutt when I do. Like, it's all a preference thing, but the important thing is we're getting the bike. Cena's going to borrow this bicycle. Since when? So Gen 2 introduces registering items, which is really nice, so we don't ever have to go into our bag to use the bike. I was thinking Crystal for a second. Let's see, if I recall, our hit points are in a good position, so I don't need to heal for this, but I definitely have to heal before Whitney. Please go faster. Don't you dare. This Snubble also has Lick. I really rather not. Okay, it flinched. That's another benefit of Headbutt, is it's a flinching move. It's 30% to flinch. Just press B to run. Okay, so we're definitely saving before Whitney. Whitney's the last huge choke point. For quite a while. So Miltank is a threat because it's a Miltank. Miltank is a very good Pokemon. Clefairy is the real threat because of Metronome. We have to hit quite a few Fury Cutters in a row.
So was it Crystal that uses the Rage strat for this?
Oh my god, we got poisoned. Yes and no. So, Rage strat should be used if you have good defense. If you have bad defense, it's just better to go with... We're gonna die. It's just better to go with the Fury Cutter strat. Because the likelihood of you dying to the Miltank obviously goes up. Alright, so most likely what's gonna happen is we're gonna get stomped. If we don't get stomped, I think we could win. Roll out. This might be a mistake that I just did. Okay, cool. We got a crit, so it didn't matter. Alright, we barely won. We did it.
Ooh, that's 3 HP.
Alright, so Fury Cutter served its purpose. Now it's gone. Stomp would have led to our death. If it didn't straight up kill us, we would have died to the poison, so we got extremely lucky. Okay, it hurts me to use this full heal, but we're gonna buy some anyway, so... Alright, so another difference between Crystal and Gold is in Crystal you go through what we call Spinner Hell, which is the route above here, and you have to talk to the girl next to the Sudowoodo tree to activate the quest, whereas here you just beat Whitney and do it, so you save a trip there. In fact, we don't even go to that route in Gold, because unlike Gen 3, we know how to get Abra consistently. So we go as far as this to get the Kenya, because it's a free flyer. So we go to the underground early, because that's going to help us in our quest to get an Abra. Ooh, why didn't I heal? Well, I guess I forgot. I honestly don't know if these are ranges or not with any sort of special that we have, but I'd rather not risk it because this Totodile is so bad that I'd much rather just play it safe. I think that the Voltorb is a range in Crystal because we're lower level, but I'm not entirely sure. Like, there's plenty of backup healing items I could pick up, so we'll be fine in that regard. I knew it was one or the other. It was either the 9 Magnemite or the Voltorb, but... like, I just rather play it safe. Like, even if we miss out on a Super Potion, we're buying more later, and then on top of that... I didn't headbutt. Whatever. You're supposed to headbutt. Okay, so this is the most important reason why we go down here. We need the coin case. That spinner got stuck. That was cute. And now, unlike Gen 3 scrubs, we're just gonna buy an Abra. Ahem. Let's see, we should name the Abra something. Nah. I'll pass. We're already behind. Now, fun fact, it's actually faster to try and buy a second Abra than it is to, say no. There's another trainer there, Decon. Alright, so another big, actually, I'll explain it in a sec after I do my shopping. So 1, 2. Alright, so another deviation between Gold and Crystal is Crystal, we would have gone to the top floor and we would have gotten Ice Punch. Gold, we actually delay Ice Punch because it's faster. We don't need Ice Punch nearly as much because we're not fighting the third rival in Burnt Tower in Gold. So this is why we didn't enter any centers. So we teleport here. I'm actually going to deposit Croconaw because it's going to heal him. I'm also going to deposit the egg, that way it doesn't hatch on us. Now, instead of going through that route that's known as Spinner Hell, in Crystal, we just flat out bypass it completely, so we're going to approach the Sudowoodo from the right instead. Now, in some situations, we would fight the Sudowoodo. We are not in that situation. If you had the most optimal run up to this point, no spinners, didn't do Ralph early to get early water gun, you would kill this thing because we would not get 30 from a rare candy at the lighthouse. So this guy is a spinner in Crystal, so this is kind of the beginning of trainers that are required in Gold, but not in Crystal. It actually started back with Russell, the guy with 3 Geodudes. Rude. Alright, so he has Dream Eater. So healing that sleep is a huge priority. It really sucks that we already had to use a full heal. Alright, so there's only 2 tiles that you really get an encounter here, so it's usually not worth repelling. It's unfortunate that we got an encounter. I kind of want to water gun him because he's a jerk, but... So Kimono Girls are pretty self-explanatory. We just fight the 5 Kimono Girls. They each have an evolution of some sort. Jolteon obviously being the scariest, to the point where I'm actually probably going to save. Alright, that range kind of sucked. If you get a good enough range, then you could scratch it and save a headbutt. Now, our speed is absolutely terrible, so there's no chance of delaying this Espeon. You actually fight the Kimono Girls in different orders, depending on your stats. Our stats are so bad that I'm not even thinking about like what order is most optimal. I just want to get through them. So you'll see me do some unoptimal moves, like Bite. Like 2 headbutts would kill. Oh man, that's not even gonna kill. You suck. Normally in Crystal you would see 2 headbutts here, but nice crit. But in gold, since the PV route is different, and it allows us to skip various different things, we actually do some unoptimal things. Like, it's obviously faster to headbutt than bite because we don't get the super effective text. Alright, good flinch. These... okay, he failed sand attack. That's very good. He failed twice. Nice. Alright, depending on what our hit points are, I may or may not save before Jolteon. The scary thing about Jolteon is a crit will kill us. I mean, not from full, but it most likely will crit us on the second turn because the game is cool, and then we most likely die. I really rather not do that. Alright, good. Very good. That was a perfect Vaporeon fight without any crits. I'm gonna go for it. If it crits us, then that really sucks, but... oh my god. He actually crit. Well, that's a huge time loss. There's nothing we could do except wipe. I cannot believe that. So that was not likely to happen. That's fine because there's some items I could pick up and sell for money. That was rough.
So in this run, how generous is our money in this game?
Wow, we got another encounter. It's kind of tight until the end, and then it's just ridiculous. Like, ridiculously high. Trying to think what item is best to get. I think there's a vitamin of some sort that I could pick up later. Like, our money's pretty low right now because we just shopped, so it's not a significant deal. Like, we probably lost about a minute, but... in fact, we might not even need to pick up anything extra. I could just sell a TM. So the only time loss was just biking back and redoing the fight. We don't have to pick up anything extra. That was unfortunate what just happened, though. There really wasn't anything I could have done other than, like, saved, but it was almost the same speed to, just take the death. Like, anybody who's saying I should have saved, it would have been pretty much almost as fast. Because we'd have to reload the game and stuff, and yeah. No big deal. Like, my headbutt PP is fantastic now, so is that.
Maybe it was just a free heal.
Yeah, let's look at it like that. It was just an expensive heal. So, fun fact, I was done with Morty 6 minutes ago.
So when things go bad in this game, how bad do they go?
They get pretty bad. Like, Rival 2 is a huge choke point, Whitney is a huge choke point. That Jolteon typically isn't a problem. Chuck can be trolly, Morty can be trolly. After you get past Chuck, it's smooth sailing until you get to Claire, and it's only problematic because of my special. Which is why I'm doing Super Granny strats later. So, the path in this gym is really wonky, so we could actually skip that second trainer, because there's, for whatever reason, there's another path that's below her. Alright, that's unfortunate. Normally, this Haunter does Curse or Mean Look. Spite. Interesting. That Haunter was not cooperative in any way. Oh yeah, we had about, what, $900? 700 or 900, I can't remember. Then we won that one fight, and then we wiped after all the kimono girls. So, selling a couple of TMs will fix the problem, most likely. Jasmine Steelix won't be a problem. Okay, our special is atrocious, so I'm gonna go for Bite. We're also speed tied with the Haunter. That's cute. Wow! My poor Bites. They're getting reduced so much. Alright, I'm saving before Morty. I learned my lesson, guys. It's actually kind of risky going in at not full health, but we're just gonna do it anyway, because YOLO, because I'm the champ. Oops. So, this is where I might have to reset. If we don't flinch or crit the Gengar, and if it successfully uses Hypnosis, then we lose because of my health. Alright, he missed, so we win. Scary Face is actually really tempting with our speed, but nah. Man, I've never seen my bites that low. Add that to the pool of this has never happened before.
Way.
Alright, normally we would actually get a polywag here, but I'm doing something different. Because strats. I cannot remember for the life of me how to do this part, so... Sure. I probably should have healed, now that I think about it. Oh well. We just do an extra menu. Man, our money sucks right now. That's what happens when you die, kids.
Typically, how much do you usually have at this point?
A lot more. I don't know the exact number, but it's in the 5 digits. We were in the 4 until I sold things. The run has been awful. This Totodile is trash. It's made it a lot farther than it honestly should have. Like, we're just gonna have to sell TMs. I believe there's a vitamin. I want to say that there is. If not, then we're gonna surf in one place for no reason other than to do it. I mean, you know, last run in a marathon, who cares? No, I would not call this a Keizaron, I would call this a Derpidile. Nobody in their right mind would run this thing. I named 5 of them, or 6 of them, I can't remember, Champ, and they all sucked. So we named them Chump and just went with it. So if we didn't fight anything extra at all, after this next fight, unless we hit the spinner Ernest, we wouldn't be able to reach level 29, and we use a rare candy here to get to 30. Man, we are loaded with headbutts. Holy, it flinched! That never happens for me. We did it!
Sorry, what was that?
I flinched the Meryl for the first time ever. Something good has come out of this run.
So you could say that's never happened before?
Yes. I'm not feeling you right now, Ernest. Okay, we did it. Yeah, Crystal Record has 9 speed, but it was the good 9 speed. This is 0 DV. Crystal had 5. That's a huge difference. Alright, so Chump is gonna be a much bigger Chump now. God, those stats! Pack it up, boys. I'm quitting.
Right, so ladies and gentlemen, that was Keizaron with Pokemon Gold.
Thanks for watching, guys. Oops. Nice movement. Nice. Well done. Okay, so we get strength here, because we need strength for the gym. Fun fact, if you don't pick up strength here and you get to Chuck's gym, you cannot beat Chuck's gym. Oh, God. Oh, she's stuck. Neat. Or she's baiting us, one or the other. I'm scared. Okay, she's stuck. Alright, so this is where having Headbutt available is really nice. There's a lot of problems in this gym. Not necessarily death problems, but, you know, enough to waste healing items. So having the flinch for Headbutt is really handy. Oh, that sucks. Return is very based. You'll see that soon. Return is an incredibly powerful move, and we utilize that. My Feraligator's probably not as happy with me because we died, but, you know, what can you do? So this Hitmonchan has Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, and Comet Punch. So getting a flinch on him is really nice, because we don't want status, obviously. Nice flinch. That was perfect. I don't want to get 5 upped and get frozen and lose a minute. The fights from here on out are pretty self-explanatory. Like, there really isn't. That's one of the problems, honestly, with Gen 2, is a lot of it is just straight fighting, which is good and bad. Man. Never lucky. I'm most likely going to hit Douglas, yeah. Because based game. Alright, so I'm healing. And since we're in the menu, it's just faster to use strength from here. Yeah, these fights are really straightforward and simple. Like, there isn't really much I can do. I could do the bug catching contest after the run. I would just need somebody to tell me how to change my date, and then we could do it to end the stream, if that's okay with the organizers. I mean, there isn't anything after me, so I would imagine it'd be fine.
We'll see what the consensus is.
Man, never lucky. So Chuck is the last real problem. If we hadn't wiped already, and if I didn't like have a full party of healed things and stand a decent chance of winning, then I would have saved. Once we get past Chuck, it actually honestly gets pretty Resident Sleeper for a while because we have to do the rocket sequences, and the rocket sequences are incredibly boring. They give valuable experience, but they're pretty much a joke because you're completely over-leveled and they don't stand a single bit of a chance against you. One Leer is fine, the second one is dangerous. Please. Alright, well, just hope. So we have Headbutt. I really want the flinch. I really want the flinch. It's 30%. That'd be swell. I really want the flinch. Okay, that's fine. We win. He has Dynamic Punch, and he gets stabbed because he's fighting. It's a very powerful move if it hits, which it would have because of Mind Reader right there. And we got double leered. A critical from him would have killed us from there. Alright, so from here, we just get Fly from his wife. His wife makes a comment about he's getting tubby because he's lazy or something. And then we pick up the secret potion to heal that poor Ampharos. It gets pretty Resident Sleeper, which is why... I mean, I could have taken up, like, Wasabi on his offer to commentate, but it's partially the reason why I really don't want to wish the commentating on anybody, because it's just such a boring part. Alright, so this is where things are going to be a little different. Oops, I need to teach Fly first. Actually, you know what? I didn't enter a center yet. I don't need to. We'll do that in a sec. Okay, so this is where things are going to be a little different. So I'm getting the rare candy here because we have a really terrible Proligator. It's slower to get on the bike from there. Oh well. I believe there's a vitamin in the other pond, so I'm going to go there and try to recoup our money. Hopefully there is one over there. If there isn't, then I just wasted time. After red. Does that count as a vitamin? Does that sell in this gen? I know it's crap in Gen 1. Alright, we need a Poliwag or a Poliwhirl. I can't remember if PP ups sell for decent money in Gen 2 or not, because I know in Gen 1 they're crap. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do, Super Repel and Teach Fly. Normally, you would go for Poliwag after you beat Morty, but because I wanted that extra rare candy... So here's another difference. The cave here is dark in gold, whereas in Crystal it's lit up. So with absolutely no prompting at all, we're going here. Because, you know, reasons. Oh my god, it's a shiny. What are the chances of that? That's unbelievable. I can't believe we found a shiny. That's so incredibly rare. I did explain spinners, yes. Yeah, the name is Gyarados and the noise it makes is Gyasha. Sounds legit. Now, I believe in our chump, so I'm not gonna catch it. I gave it a Pokédoll so it could be happy, though. Nice. I thought I got to the... Okay. Yeah, this is pretty much where it gets boring. Like, we're completely over-leveled. Everything dies in one hit, except for a couple of things here and there that are ranges that we're most likely going to miss because this is Chumpadile. It'll start picking up again. I hate to say this, but it'll start picking up again in like an hour.
Okay guys, we'll go home. Come back in an hour.
GG. Good marathon, guys. My favorite part was watching Heinz's stream. How many times am I gonna die to red? I'm just sitting here thinking. Like, I can imagine dying like 50,000 times. Like, we go over estimate by like an hour because Pikachu only ever uses Thunder and crits.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of this infamous red fight. Yeah.
Like, red fight, like, I kind of think that even though this is like a boring run for the middle part of it, the red fight makes up for all of it because it's always exciting. Everybody gets super hype. It's the best music in the game. It's a good way to end a marathon because it's just such an extreme note. Yes, Gen 2 runs are all the way up to red.
That must be one of the most heartbreaking things, though, to have such an amazing run up until that point, and then have to go through that red fight. That seems heartbreaking.
Every single Crystal and Gold runner has had a run on world record pace that has died to Pikachu. My own PB lost a significant amount of time. Worster's PB. Both me and Worster lost over a minute to Pikachu, so both of us could have had a 319. It's a lot better to just get crit by the Pikachu turn 1 than for it to hit and just do this long drawn out process until you're down to Thunderbolts, so... Yeah, but Lance isn't an epic fight. Lance is a tool. Fuck that guy. Alright, so this is where Gold and Crystal PP route changes. Since we still have Headbutt, we utilize Headbutt a lot. We also fight more trainers here. So in the Rocket Hideout, Crystal has less trainers that are required, and then 1 spinner. Well, 2, technically 2. Gold only has 1 of those spinners, and that spinner is one that's required to fight anyway. I don't even know why he's a spinner, but and you have to fight more trainers here. On the flip side, at the Goldenrod Radio Tower sequence, you fight less trainers in Gold and more in Crystal. I think you fight 3 extra here compared to Crystal, whereas you fight 1 less at the Radio Tower, if I remember correctly. What?
What? I'm a cool cat.
Oh my god. So, one of the spinners is a required trainer because he has one of the passwords that you need. So he doesn't really count as a spinner. So on that note, there's 1 spinner in Crystal at this part, and he's required in Gold. All the cool cats. That's what I said, Decon. What are you... Oh no, you're just confirming. Never mind. I was about to say, demodded from my chat. So she has one of the passwords, and then the spinner to the left has the other password. Pikachu ruins world record times because it can do one of 2 things to you. It's either going to use Thunder or it's going to use Charm. You need him to use Charm or miss Thunder. If he hits Thunder, then you have to heal the full constantly, because he almost kills you. He does kill with a crit. And it's a significant amount of time to lose. And once he hits you with Thunder, he's locked into Thunder until he's either out of Thunders or he misses. So he's the spinner. It's fastest if you're able to walk to him and talk to him. Good old Ditto. Good old Ditto. Yeah, Pikachu has an interesting property of being the highest leveled Pokemon on Red's team. The first Pokemon sent out, but considered the last Pokemon by the AI. So he's a spinner in Crystal. Well done, Garfield. Because there's no high-leveled enough one to use, and you need to set up for the other Pokemon anyway, so it would accomplish absolutely nothing to kill Pikachu with something and then try to set up on something else. Yeah, knockoff does nothing. He would heal Pikachu if you didn't kill it, so that's why it being last is significant. Where's Jolt percent? Good luck getting a Thunderstone fast enough. You don't even do that in Heart Gold. So this Raticate is a range. Well, I mean, it's a Zubat. Oh, but the Raticate next is a range. I would really appreciate getting it. No. They're in their 30s. Stones in this game, you have to talk to trainers to get their phone numbers and they'll give you one, or your mom can buy some. Is there a Johto percent? No, not really. There are races to Lance, and those are typically randomizer races. That's the only real Johto percent. This protein isn't really going to help us terribly much because we're weak as hell, but you know. You can get some stones by showing Bill's grandpa a Pokemon that he wants to see for that day. Bill himself does nothing but waste your time with a cutscene and then give you an Eevee if you go out of the way for it. He doesn't even give you the Eevee when you see him the first time. You have to go out of your way and go to his house. Alright, this Arbok is a range. The Gloom is most certainly a range. This is basically the cavalcade of ranges. I have no idea how you got that, Chump, but go get him, Tiger.
The underdog always wins.
Oh, we'll see in a sec. Yo! Go, Chump, go! I have had perfect attack and not gotten that Gloom range. That's incredible. Chump is going in, guys. We might have to go to the Name Raider after the run and rename him the champ.
So at this point in the run, this is Rocky 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Good call. So these electrodes are ranges. They're most definitely ranges. This is going to be absolutely awful. Alright. There's range 1. Oh, you're right. It is in Golden. I'm thinking Move Deleter. Yeah, we could just change his name when we go back to Goldenrod, sure. Actually, nah, we'll do it after the run. I missed the range. Yeah, he's no longer champ. He missed the range. Well, I might
bless him, he's trying.
He's trying his hardest. I'm walking on bacon because bacon is the greatest thing on the planet. Freebie. I like that term.
Seconded.
It's a very good term. Shoutouts to, I want to say it's unalive. If it's something random like Unalive, then I don't know, man. Alright, so we're going to use our protein here, even though it's going to do very little for us. Alright, so there's a spinner here that we have absolutely no control over. His name is Douglas. And he didn't even give us a chance. Well, he gave us one chance, I guess, but... So this fight has cost me a 317 pace run before because the Cloister is very trolly. Very trolly. I'm trying to think when the best time to use our spare rare candy is. He has Protect and he has Supersonic. So that fight went almost as well as we could have hoped. A crit or a flinch would have obviously made it better, but... I had one fight where he confused me and I hit myself 4 turns in a row, and then he protected twice in a row. It cost me 2 minutes. So the Seal and Dugong are both ranges. We did not get the Seal range. That's not. It has Headbutt? What? What? I've only ever seen Icy Wind. Okay. It's new. Alright, good first roll. I think now would be a good time to use that candy. We'll do it when we escape rope out of the lighthouse. We're gonna go deliver the medicine to Jasmine. I really hope that Ernest doesn't be a dick. You're so slow that he doesn't want to slow you down anymore. That's a fair point. Alright. I gotta remember to pick up the ether because we don't pick it up in Crystal. Not anymore, anyway. Nice extra steps. That's manipulating Ernest for later.
Standard RNG manipulation.
Indeed. Take that, Ernest. I told you guys. You didn't believe me at first. I hit Douglas. I hit Bill. Okay, so you don't normally have a second rare candy there, but we have such trash stats that I kind of need it for safety. We're also going to be buying calciums if I can afford any of them. That wipe kind of hurt. So somebody had asked earlier if the Steelix is a concern, and even with our stats, no, because Stab Surf is very powerful, and I use that candy anyway, so even if it somehow was a problem, it's no longer. Alright, so now the boring radio tower begins. It's us climbing a dungeon, then burrowing into a dungeon, then climbing a dungeon again. Nothing terribly exciting. This is the last big shopping trip, though. So now we're going to get Ice Punch. We're going to get Return, which we'll teach that in a little while. Return is a very powerful move. We're gonna buy calciums. I don't care, like, if I have to ghetto budget for them. Like, I'm selling all of these. Selling my PP up. Good luck, don't fall asleep. I know, right? And then we do our last X item shopping here. So the only other shopping we're going to do from here now is buy a couple of max repels later and then buy full restores. And all of that happens when we get to the Elite Four. What? Huh. 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 That's... Huh. Huh.
Waiting for it.
Huh. 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 Hmm. Hmm.
I'm assuming that's not meant to happen.
Sure wasn't. Huh. 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 Yeah, that's a new one.
Is this worrying?
No, it's well, no. Oh, my sister's calling me right now. I'm trying to be big time streamer. Stop. Yeah, that's what's freaking me out, is you don't get that call unless you're on the bike. I've never seen the bike shop call not on the bike. I bet you what happened was the tile that we biked to get inside the radio tower was where the call was supposed to happen, and the game waited for another tile movement to buffer to register that there was a call. That's my only theory behind that. That's the only thing that makes sense. So the tile that we entered with our bike was probably the tile that he wanted to call. That's the only thing that makes sense. That has never happened, so that's what, 4 that we're up to on this run alone?
I think that's 4, yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a good job, guys.
I don't know what it is about marathons that just bring these kind of things up.
I don't know, man. I just don't know. Definitely interesting, though. Never seen that before.
Are there any other times in this run that you get random phone calls?
No. Every phone call is accounted for. The only thing is, depending on how good or bad your movement is, where you get the bike shop call. We got ours super early because I died, and then on top of that I went to a different area to get a polywag because I needed items. So that's interesting.
Oh, so that phone call activates after a certain amount of steps?
Yes. On, well, certain amount of tiles that you move on the bike. So I guess bike steps? So, like I said, the only thing that makes sense to me is the call wanted to happen as soon as we got on the tile that registers as an entrance. So it buffered the step counter. That's all I can think of. Alright, I'm gonna Ether, Surf, Teach, Ice Punch, and use our Calciums. Let's see. Oops. So this Porygon is not a favorable range. Even with the calcium side, no. I'll be very much impressed if we get it. Yo, chump! Yo! Yo! Yo!
Chump going in.
Chump might get that name change after all. So this fight is interesting because of the PP management behind it. We're actually setting up an X special. If we get Smokescreen, then we have a backup X accuracy. Let's just hope that we don't need to use it for the obvious reason that it's slower. Neat.
X accuracies work differently than what they do in Gen 1 here, don't they?
No, X accuracies work exactly the same as in Gen 1. So if you had a one-hit KO move after an X accuracy, it would kill. The caveat behind that, though, is one-hit KO moves work differently in Gen 1. It's based on speed, whereas in Gen 2 it's based on level.
So essentially, the higher level you are, the more chance it has of succeeding.
No, it's always 30% if you match or are higher level. If you are lower level, it's always 0%. After an X accuracy, it skips the 30% and turns it into 100, just like it does in Gen 1. But if you are lower level, then it skips nothing because you're lower level, so you miss. Now, unlike Gen 1, there isn't anything with a one-hit KO move that's readily available, so it's not as viable of a strat as you would like it to be. I'll rename him if he beats Red on his first try. How about that? That seems like a fair compromise. So since we fought these trainers already, we don't need to fight them now. So this rival fight can be a little trolly. It's not really a choke point of any sort. The biggest thing about this fight is if you have a Bitter Berry, then you try to set up a little earlier. I still have a full heal, but at the same time I don't want to get poisoned. So we are going to set up on a Meganium. I don't know what our health is at. Oh dear. You know what? Yellow. Jerk. We got this, guys. It's okay.
Last run of the marathon, dude. Go hard or go home.
Exactly. Now, I believe the Meganium's going to be a range regardless. Neat. Wasabi Knight got globaled? So I much prefer trying the X special on the Golbat than the Meganium, because if the Meganium uses Poison Powder, then there's your full heal anyway. If Meganium uses Razor Leaf, if you're at low enough hit points and bad enough special, you could die from a crit. I think we were a range, so I felt a lot safer just swallowing the extra turn on Golbat as opposed to Meganium. Oh, Gym Freak got... okay. I thought Wasabi got it. So this is going to continue to be kind of meh. We're getting toward the end of it, though. So this Muck is normally a range. I think we're very favorable because of the calciums and the extra level. There's another Muck coming up in the next fight that's also a range. I would really like to get that range because we don't have any more full heals. We don't have an antidote anymore. So I would really prefer if we don't have to like heal because we don't have status healing. Oh, rude. So unfortunately, there's no switch combination that allows us to dodge the next two fights. So we have to do a specific combination, and we have to just swallow the two extra fights. So this is a range. I'm not terribly surprised. He used Pound though, that was probably one of the better things he could have used. So, we good. That Resident Forky emote is so good. I'm glad he made it. Like, the only thing that really goes on in this segment is, just PP management. That's really it. There really isn't anything exciting going on for a while. Oh, you missed Animorphs already? We did Animorphs. We died pretty quickly. Our bite PP is a little low. I guess I'll Ice Punch, a Coughing, and then Strength Eradicate instead.
So I'm assuming after this point then it's all about PP management.
Yeah, like, we missed enough ranges to where I needed to bite. Like, we missed that Electrode range. We fought Douglas. Douglas is the big thing. Douglas cost us some PP management, unfortunately. If we had gotten one more range, or if we missed Douglas entirely, then we'd be good. So we
I can see
have...
here that all the fights now are kind of like, they're just basically stump fights. Is there any point now where there's going to be a fight that's going to give you trouble?
You know, I was just about to try and think that out loud. Probably the two... Well, the last three fights in this segment have some ranges. Let's see, there's a Golbat range that's coming up. There's a Vileplume and Arbok range that's coming up. So the second to last fight and third to last fight, there's possible missed ranges, but nothing deadly. Like, we are pretty much good to go. There's one more fight under here, then we leave. Then there are 4 more fights after this, and then we are done with this segment, and we can actually move on to something a little more noteworthy. So we're short a bite here, so we're going to use one Ice Punch because I believe we have spares. So this is the real director. Made only possible because the fake director was honorable and gave us a key after beating him. Really don't have anything to say about that one. Oops. So we say bye-bye to Bite. It has served us well. I am gonna heal. Because we're gonna have to heal for the Claire split anyway, so I might as well be healed now. I mean, we're in a menu. Alright. So this is Radio Tower round 2. We just go to the 3rd floor. We have access to the right side of the tower now. There's going to be a grunt and 3 admins, or is it 2 grunts and 2 admins? Something. We'll all get to find out together.
We can all go on this journey together.
Indeed. So these fights are pretty simple. Just more easy fights. I am concerned about fighting Claire though, because the special ranges. Alright, it is an admin.
Dragon Trainer, right?
Yes. Alright, this Golbat is probably still a range, even though we're higher level and calciums. Because, you know, bad special. But we crit anyway, so Chump's going in. Oh, I know it has Thunder Wave. That's why I'm probably saving beforehand. I might not honestly need to save because I still have my Paralyzed Cure Berry, but... Alright, so that was a range and we got it. This Vileplume, I sincerely doubt we get, to be honest. And Chump proves me wrong again. Get him.
Don't discount Chump. Chump knows exactly what he needs to do.
He knows. He knows. So I switched my move order there. You might have noticed I switched my move order earlier as well. I'm much more acclimated to Crystal than Gold. So I like to have my moveset as close to Crystal as possible. So if I never moved my moves around at all, Strength would be at the bottom. I believe... Would Ice Punch beat slot 1 or slot 2 still? I'm not entirely sure about that one. How John Cena is this dial? This is Joe Senba. This is atrocious. We are definitely going over estimate. We would need like a perfect run from here to barely make it under.
In before perfect run.
Well, we're almost 13 minutes behind already. And I honestly thought that I made my estimate 345 and not 340, so it's not as safe as I had wanted with this run, but oh well. Okay, so we talked to her because we get the pink bow. Return with the pink bow is a monster. Another benefit of Return is it has 20 total PP, so it's a very powerful and very usable move. We gotta get the radio card for later. It serves no purpose as of now, but later we use it to wake up a Snorlax. I am indeed doing Kanto in this run. All Gen 2 runs go to red. Pink Bow increases the power of normal moves.
I think that's one of my favourite things of Gen 2. The fact there's a whole other region after you've essentially completed the game.
Yeah, it's basically 2 runs in one almost. It's pretty nice. I mean, unless you're in a hurry. So this is another example of Gold having more required trainers. He is completely avoidable in Crystal. He's not terribly threatening. He has 2 Pidgeotos. They both have quick attack. That's not nice. Speedrunning doesn't ruin my love of the game. I wouldn't run the game if I didn't love it. Speedrunning makes me hate some aspects of the game, though. You tend to learn, like, what is actually hard about the game. If anything, speedrunning stopped me from, like, playing a ton of games casually. I always think about what's the fastest way to beat it now.
That's the speedrunner's curse.
Indeed.
Every game you play, it's kind of like, you're looking at it and think, how can I do this fast?
Yeah, you analyze games differently. What the hell? I did that right. That threw me off at first. The ice puzzles in Crystal and Gold are different. For whatever reason.
Those ice puzzles give me so much trouble as a kid.
They can get obnoxious for sure. It's a lot faster to do in Crystal. Gold has a different boulder and a different initial ice puzzle. I don't know why things were changed. Also, my movement is atrocious right now. Oh my goodness. Crystal Ice Path also just looks nicer because Crystal was a Game Boy Color only game, whereas Gold and Silver had original Game Boy capabilities.
I think that's why they didn't change too much in Crystal, because they made it completely for Game Boy Color. I could be wrong though.
Wow, this movement. If we get an encounter, I swear. Okay. Wow, this movement! We have not tested it, but it honestly wouldn't surprise me.
Considering we use in-game time, would it even change much?
Yes, because in the same way that that there might be colors that aren't loaded in yellow, it might be the same thing for Gold.
Oh, of course, yeah.
There might not be the transitions, because if you notice when you go between routes, there's a tiny bit of lag. So that might not exist on a Game Boy Pocket or original Game Boy. Yeah, you just saw why we need a Poliwag. Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Psyduck are the things that you can get. Psyduck is very rare to see in a run. It's typically a Poliwag, unless you're watching my runs, in which case it's typically a Poliwhirl, because why not? They learn both Whirlpool and Waterfall. What's up, Gunner? I'm running a Totodile only you would run, and I hate it. Seadra is very blue in this game. That's another reason why you see like color variance between Gold and Crystal, because like I had said, Gold was compatible with non-color Game Boys. So the color palette used was very limited. That's why I'm green as a Feraligatr as opposed to the blue that I am in Crystal. That's why Spinarak is purple instead of green, so on and so forth. No, I hate your Totos. You're an awful person for even wanting to run these things. Everybody should not follow Gunner Maniac 3. He's a scrub. He played yellow for like 20,000 resets and got a record, I guess.
So is this a Gunner dial then?
This is a Gunner dial. That's why he's named Chump. Oh, if you follow him already, then just go to unfollow. Twister. Everybody should instead go to twitch.tv/I8yourpie. Nice movement, me. So I've decided I'm saving before Claire. I just don't trust anything. This run has been mean to us as is. If I'm gonna be behind estimate, I'd rather it only be by like a minute or two. Oh, I'm glad that I assisted your life by encouraging you to unfollow that Gunner Maniac guy. Wow, Dragonair is anorexic. Oh yeah, definitely saving. Man, this time is real.
In before a perfect clip.
Well, you know, I hope so. To last a week. Alright, so this is pretty easy. We just Ice Punch sweep until we see the Kingdra, and then we return and hope that we don't damage it too much that it heals.
I have no words.
Oh dear. Well, if we weren't behind enough. Yeah, I banned that person. I'm doing a run. Alright, so, that doesn't bode well for anything. Alright, Hyper Beam is fine. So that means no heal. We win the fight, barely, but, you know, it happens. Man, this is a rough run. I'm not terribly thrilled with how it went. If we have a perfect run from here, we'll be a minute under estimate. That's how bad this is. I gave myself a 15-minute buffer too. Apparently 15 minutes isn't enough for gold, because gold hates me. Oh. As long as everybody's enjoying the run, it's all good. Okay, so the Dragon Den is different in gold compared to crystal. In gold, there's a required trainer that's right when you enter. And then, crystal. In crystal, there's a required trainer. And then you have to do a quiz. Whereas in gold, there's no required trainer, and you just pick up an item. It is incredibly faster. It's pretty nice. Dare I do the Keizaron? No. That's not worth. Did my repel wear out or no? I don't think it did.
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm gonna take a couple of extra steps then. Ah, shut up. Stop talking. There it is. I repelled a little later than I was supposed to, but you know, reasons. Alright, there are a ton of trainers that are required on the way to Victory Road for gold, and crystal you avoid most of them. So we use Whirlpool and Waterfall once each, which is silly since it's a pain in the ass to get something that can learn both of them. Oh dear. So the vision of the trainers on this bridge are completely different from Crystal, so you have to play super safe, whereas in Crystal you play kind of loose with it. Oh, well, everyone's stream experience is ruined then.
Rip chat.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. 100% speedrun in Gen 2 would be ridiculously boring and ridiculously long. So there's a trainer that has max vision. It's him. If you don't surf as early as you do here, then it's ogre. Yeah, see, like, that's an example. Like, he's not a trainer you fight in Crystal, and I was taking the Crystal path. So I just made him walk over for no reason other than things. Okay, if I remember how to do this right, Alright, there's a spinner coming up, and she's a pain in the ass. Let's see, I think we just take one extra step right there. Alright, cool. So, that spinner is named Joyce. She has a Pikachu and a Blastoise. It's just a giant waste of time. Gavin, on the other hand, here.
I'm assuming every spinner at this point isn't necessarily a run killer, but more just kind of like a time waste.
Yeah. There's one more spinner. And it's in Kanto.
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Protect! It's in Sabrina's gym. It's Granny.
Oh,
How
that's
many-
not the one I was thinking
How
of.
many
I think I'm
spinners have I hit? I purposely fought one of them at the beginning. I hit one in Union Cave, and then I hit Douglas. So I hit 3 spinners. But we died to Rival 2, we died to one of the Kimono girls. It took a while to get this Totodile when this Totodile wasn't even that good. Nice extra movement, me. He's in a completely different location in Crystal, and you can avoid him.
Yeah, I'm seeing a distinct pattern here.
Yep. Red is going to be an interesting fight. Sabrina too. I might have to save for Sabrina, to be honest, because our attack is that poor. This Golduck is a range. Oh dear. Good range. Good range. That was with an extra level and a protein. Let's just put that into perspective. Chump is that bad.
I'd say he's allowed to whiff sometimes, but no, he isn't.
He's trash. That's all we can say. He's just trash. So this is Victory Road. It's been completely neutered. And we're done with Victory Road. We just need to fight Rival.
Oh, that was difficult.
Yeah, it was pretty hard. Probably the longest part of the run. Oh, I am so looking forward to making a sandwich when I'm done with this.
Don't say that, I'm starving.
I'm running on such a little sleep.
Yeah, don't worry, you're not the only one.
Like, I did as much as I could do without actually being part of the committee. Like, I was like the unofficial member of it.
I think at this point, the amount of input we've had from essentially everyone in the community, everyone has put in a bit of work for this marathon.
Indeed. Oh, wait! No, guys, we're totally gonna be underestimate. Holy shit, I just remembered. This is a marathon. I could just reset from the credits. Dude, we're gonna be like under like hella. Fuck this game. Yo, dude, I am a fucking god.
Yo, win!
Yeah, you tell him, Cal. Every layout after XD I did, and I did it at the last minute, and I had to make some changes every now and again too. And the thing with the layouts is because of the way that we had the stream set up, I wasn't able to just make like one universal layout for every console and just replace the name. It had to be like each individual category, each individual estimate, each individual name. So it definitely took a while, but I think they turned out pretty well for being last minute.
Well, for being, even if they were done, not even last minute, but even if they were done like a week or so prior to this marathon, they're still amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
And I know from my experience of making layouts, I know they're not exactly easy, especially with the resolutions taken into account.
Indeed. Man. Crafted knew the whole time. I didn't even think about it until just now. I was gonna sit through the credits, man. Like I was just gonna sit here and be like, well, we're gonna be 1 minute over, guys.
Just sit there in the credits crying. Oh no.
Man, I feel like a fool. Okay.
If I wasn't hosting right now, I'd totally be on meme generator right now.
This game does have Kanto gyms, yes. Yeah, good point. Red's probably gonna ruin it anyway. But, you know, I could always feel happy that I found a way to save some time.
I think Chump's gonna do okay. The underdog always wins.
Indeed. Oh my god, it's over. We can't go underestimate now. That's unfortunate. Oh, we'll be pretty close at least, but... Yo, nice range, dummy. Hashtag blame Jinx. Run is dead.
Sorry, did I miss something?
Yeah, you missed me seeing a Jinx. Run's over. She took like 2 minutes to finish before I could attack. How the crap did I lose time on this split? Oh, right, because Zatu is a jerk. Okay, we got this. Looks a bit like Kevin Nash. Well, I'm related to Kevin Nash. I'm really not. Alright, so it was mentioned earlier that X accuracies work in the same fashion as Gen 1. So this area dose using double team over and over means nothing to us. Muck is going to use minimize, it means nothing to us. Crobat is going to use double team, it means nothing to us. No, this is on console. I don't run on emulator unless it's a randomizer. This is where the color scheme thing comes into play. Fortress looks like a giant dookie. Indeed, I'm using a GameCube with the Game Boy Player attachment. My controller is a first-party GameCube controller.
Oh, so you don't use the Game Boy Advance SP then?
I used to, but it's so small in my hands.
I much prefer the GameCube controller itself.
It fits my hands, like, beautifully, so it works best for me. This is a range. We got it. Get him, chump. But yeah, as you saw, we got 2 double teams from Ariados, a minimize from Muck, and a double team from Crobat, and we didn't miss at all because the power of X accuracy. Now, the old route for both Crystal and Gold didn't utilize Return. We instead picked up Earthquake. So this Bruno fight is a little different. Earthquake has the property of being able to hit anything underground. So this Hitmontop uses Dig. And you would just set up an X attack and then Earthquake. Since we can't do that anymore because we don't have Earthquake, we set up 2 X attacks. But in exchange, we're able to one-hit the Machamp. The Machamp used to be a 2-shot, and Machamp had Cross Chop, and Cross Chop really hurts. Now, for whatever reason, my return PP is a little funky, so normally you just return him, but I just switched to Strength because he has terrible defense. So a critical cross chop, if I remember correctly, could do like 100 something. Like, it's ridiculous. So while the fight is slower against Hitmontop, it's safer and it's also faster on the Machamp. How in the hell was that a gold split? Interesting.
Champ will always go in when you need him to, I told you.
I suppose. The fact that I can gold anything right now is silly because of my name and all the frames I'm burning. Alright, Karen can be trolly. Umbreon has Sand Attack. If it uses Sand Attack, then we just use an X accuracy and we're good. I'm also going to use an X speed. Alright, it used Sand Attack, that's fine. Gengar's faster than us. Alright, I would like for it to keep using Sand Attack. Oh my. So that's actually, with X accuracy strats, that's actually as perfect as that fight could have gone. This Gengar's a range, though. If Gengar uses Spite, then we are in a little bit of a pickle. Now, we do have an extra level, and we did use Calcium, so yeah, we got it. It's good.
How do calcium items work? Do they increase the actual DV, the base DV, or do they add on top of it, or what do they do?
The easiest way to explain it is just, it's almost like adding a DV and a half. Like, that's just the easiest way. It's a lot more technical than that, but it's the actual vitamins. What they do is they give you the stat experience in Gens 1 and 2, and they give you the EVs in Gen 3 and beyond. But for the purpose of a speed run, it's just easiest to describe it as adding a DB and a half.
The TLDR version.
Pretty much. Now, this fight is normally super easy. I'm just gonna save because if something does go wrong, we have to redo the entire Elite Four. And that's just not desirable. So if Gyarados ends up using Hyper Beam turn 1, we can use an X speed so we can outspeed Aerodactyl. Otherwise, we just go straight through.
Lance theme is best.
Interesting. Okay. I don't actually get to use that strat too often. Alright, so with our DV, the 50 Dragonite is a range. I'm going to go for it for two reasons. One, we saved. Two, our health is in an awkward position because of the Hyper Beam. So I'm going for it. I think we're favorable, but I don't think it's by much. Yo, chump, you are a baller. Alright, so we outspeed Aerodactyl because of that X speed, so we in there. This fight is won. That is correct, Black Hammer. So that was Lance. It's very seldom that you die to Lance. It can happen if you're extremely unlucky. I wouldn't have risked the Ice Punch range on the level 50 Dragonite if I had healed beforehand. Typically, that Gyarados either uses Flail or Surf. Alright, so for the sake of being underestimate, we're skipping the credits. Sorry, guys. You can hear the credits at the end because the split is before the credits the second time.
All this time save.
Indeed. I'm already losing time on my Erica split. Oh my god.
Oh, wow, I didn't realise this was that bad.
Yeah.
To be fair, other than the shaky start, the run hasn't seemed to have gone too bad.
If the start weren't as bad as it was, this would have been a much better time. Like, once we got past that first hour, it was okay. Which sounds about right for a normal speedrun, except instead of an hour, it'd be like... No, it'd be an hour. Yes, I do want to board. Thank you.
You didn't just say no to boarding, did you?
I sure did. This guy.
I thought this was supposed to be a speed run.
It's a speed walk. Sometimes it's a jog. Wow. Way to buffer my input. So yeah, we're on a boat. We have to fight this guy, and then we can get through and we can find the lost little girl, and then we're off the boat. And after this, you'll get to see one of my favorite strats in all of Pokemon speedrunning. So you're gonna notice the theme is we're vastly over-leveled. We're gonna be higher level than everything from here on out until Red. And all of a sudden it turns from a giant sweep to an absolute massacre. Like, Red is difficult because you have to set up for 4 turns, and with our attack, we're probably not even going to get the Snorlax, so we'll have to set up a 5th turn on Snorlax, most likely. Also, this is one of Gunner's favorite tracks, I believe. So the little girl was bugging the captain the whole time. So here's another divergence from Crystal and Gold. We go through Rock Tunnel in Gold. We don't in Crystal. It's faster to do Rock Tunnel in Gold because there are a ton of required trainers in Gold on the route that you would take in Crystal. Which is another reason why the Abra strat is really cool, because we just set up our warp point at the center outside of Rock Tunnel. Alright, so this is one of the coolest strats in Pokemon. We're in Vermilion, and it's just faster to fly from Vermilion to Vermilion from here. I did forget to use a Super Repel though, so I botched that.
I love the logic of it.
It's very good. I love it. Do, 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 do. Now, in much the same way that we went through Rock Tunnel blind in Red, we're going to do that in Gold as well. I would like to cut the tree game. Thank you. So that trainer that we just passed, his name is Tom. He's a spinner in Crystal, and he's one of the most annoying spinners. He's just a giant waste. He's a stander here, though, so... So I am going to be a little quiet at this part, because I do need to focus on my movement for this. Nice movement, me. You suck. So we enter this center, so we set up our warp point. So now later, we're going to teleport to this, so we don't have to go through Rock Tunnel again.
So if you don't have flash, Rock Tunnel is completely blind.
Yes. Which is why I bonk a lot to tell where I'm at. I'm gonna do that with Mount Silver for the most part too. I have a lot of Mount Silver memorized, but it's easier to do it in Crystal than Gold because there's some Pokeballs that aren't in Gold that are in Crystal. They give you a reference point. So this is a side quest of the game that you have to do. There was a rocket that went rogue and kind of took stuff. We're not going to concern ourselves with it just yet. The importance was we set our warp point. Now we're going to go to Celadon and beat Erica. Erica is actually the first gym leader we fight. In Kanto, I mean. Excuse me. Oh, hey, it looks like the game feed froze.
Yeah, I can see that. Working on a fix for it.
I didn't drop anything on my end, so it's probably just hitbox.
No, it's going fine on hitbox. I think it's on my end.
Oh, okay. Can they hear us at least? Is it just a video?
Yeah, they should be able to still hear us. I think it's just a video.
Okay, well, I'm fighting twins. They have a Victory Bell and a Bioplume. I'm using Return on them. So I just defeated them. I don't know. Can they hear the game sound, or just, like, is it just a video?
I think it should be just a video.
Okay, well, you're hearing me beat up things. No, my picture! So on good attack, this Executor that you guys can't see that I'm fighting, you can actually return. Oh dear.
Okay, just look there. I can see what the problem. It should be fixed in this.
I hope so. Alright, well, you know... Okay, I'm fighting another person. Her name is Julia. She likes long walks on the beach. Going out for tans. She likes soy latte. And she also has Deacon's favorite Pokemon. At least they could see that my name is still there. That's always good. She also likes eggs, which is why she has an Execute. Hello. Is that Gen 3 I see in the background?
Might be.
Hold on. We did it. Alright. Now that Julia's down, we're gonna fight Erica. Alright, it looks like we good now.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Seems to be an issue with TeamViewer there.
Alright, so we just defeated Fluorescent Wiggly Woo. So this fight's interesting because Victory Bell and Blossom both will do Sunny Day turn 1. So we actually set up because Blossom is not a one-shot unless you set up. So there's the Sunny Day. And then we just return sweep from here. Alright, so skipping the credits saved about 2.25 minutes. So, the gym leaders in Kanto don't typically give you TMs. She's one of the few that do. She gives you Giga Drain. Alright, now we're gonna fight Sabrina, and I'm a little worried about Sabrina because our attack is atrocious. There's also one spinner in here, and it's the last spinner of the game. I was asking too much to wait for her to get stuck, but we got past her anyway. So the Espeon that she leads with is a range. So we have no more spinners to worry about. So everything from here on out is just dependent on the ranges that we get. So this is a range. And we got it. It's very good. I'm originally from Washington State, so yes, the Pacific Northwest. I'm currently in California right now. I am actually going to be back in Washington for about a week and a half, literally after this marathon is done. Like, a few hours after this, I'm outie. So, you know, if that doesn't show enough how dedicated I was to this damn thing, then nothing will. Alright, so we do Kanto a little differently, like I had mentioned in Gold in Gold compared to Crystal. We would have already been done with Nugget Bridge in Crystal. Oh, right was definitely faster. So typically in Crystal we would have done the Nugget Bridge side quest already, whereas in this we're just now getting to it. And then we would interrupt Misty's date and literally just run away for a little while and do other things, whereas in this one, after we interrupt it, we immediately fight her. So this Nugget Bridge in comparison to Red and Yellow is massively easier. We kill everything in one hit. The worst that'll happen is we get a quick attack from a Vaporeon and a quick attack from a Pidgeotto. In Crystal, it's only slightly harder because the Tangela is a range, so you would have to Ice Punch it if you had bad attack, whereas in Gold, that's never the issue. Also, shoutouts to Fake Wiggly-Woo. So this upcoming Wiggly is a range in Crystal on bad attack, but it's guaranteed because we're over leveled. Alright, so that Vaporeon almost always uses quick attack. At least for me. The Pidgeotto seems like it's 50-50. Room. Man, really outside. Chomp is trying to learn Hydro Pump. So the next fight after this one, like the upcoming fight, is one of my favorites in the series. It never used to be significant to me until I started doing speedruns. The reason why it's so significant is because to me it's almost like a passing of the torch. So this next guy has a Nidoking. So to me it's cool to see the champion of Gen 2 take out the champion of Gen 1.
That feels almost symbolic in a way.
That's why I like it so much. So she is the last of the Nugget Bridge trainers, but this guy that's to the right of her is somebody who's trying to be sneaky and take you out when you're quote-unquote tired. He has a Porygon and he dies pretty easily. So after him, it's a Super Nerd Pat, I think it is, we interrupt Misty's date. And in Gold, we immediately fight her. In Crystal, we would run away and just do other things for a little while. I kind of want to go grab that protein. I don't know how much difference it'll make for us, but I kind of want to do it. There's a protein above this guy. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to do it because why not? Certainly wouldn't hurt. My mind is made up. At least it's a protein and crystal. I didn't actually look at what it was. It is a protein. Okay, goody. I'm just gonna use that now. So this is only slightly more optimal than doing it a different way, but it's a cooler way too, I think. So we actually fight Misty on our Lapras. So another reason why I was considering that protein is because the Lapras is a range. This Golduck is a range on bad attack, but, you know. In Crystal, you would set up on the Golduck because you're not as high level, and you're not guaranteed to kill the Golduck. It's really unfavorable. In Gold, it's pretty favorable. Oh dear. There we go. So we set up on a Quagsire instead because it usually uses Amnesia. It can use Earthquake. So this Lapras is a range. Nice. Vroom. So this is pretty easy. So we grab the machine part now. And now Abra comes into play again. Like I'd mentioned before, we set our warp point earlier. Well, now we just teleport to it, so we don't have to go through Rock Tunnel again. I did forget to use a Super Repel, though. Oops. So now that we have the machine part, we can return it. And then we could get the extension card, or expansion, whatever it is, for a Pokegear. So now we'll have a Pokeflute. Unfortunately, it doesn't work in the same way that it does in Gen 1, so we can't use it to wake up in fights, but we're not going to fall asleep in any fights from here on out. So now we take out Surge. The old route, you used to actually surf the Surge as soon as you got here, and then you'd fight him immediately. This is much more efficient, though, and it's a lot safer. Also, let's hope for perfect cans. That was a useless critical. RTA stands for real-time attack. Yo, perfect hands. This is such a good run now. It's so good I should widescreen it. So the search fight is pretty easy at our level. We just surf everything except the Electabuzz. The Electabuzz we use return. I hate your cry. I hate you. Die. So this is the return of all the Electrode. He has 2 of them for whatever reason. Don't quite understand why. Like, I think a Jolteon would have been a cooler choice. This guy. So this is the sole reason why we have to get the expansion card. Because this Snorlax is the only way to get the pewter. Or rather, he blocks the only way you can get the pewter. So on Crystal, this guy is a spinner, or he's a rotator, whereas in this game, he's just standing there. So on good attack, you could actually return this Sand Slash to skip the super effective text, but we don't have good attack, so you know, there's that. Man, this speed. I cannot, like, I honestly cannot believe this Totodile made it this far. It sucks. It's so bad. Like, its best stat was its special, and we still had to buff it up with Calciums. When a spinner held a red. If you want to set one of those races up soon, Alta, I'm down. We would have to use a different randomizer though, because the randomizer that DeBombstu used sucked and gave us absolute crap for Pokemon. Also, I love how in Gold the sprites for Kabutops and Omastar are really wonky. Kabutops has supremely thin eyes, whereas Omastar looks like he took some speed. So Brock is easy peasy. He just takes a while. I don't know where he got all the fossil pokes, but he did. Also, there's the neutered, oops. There's the neutered Viridian Forest. We got encounterless. We did it. Damn, I'm bad. Okay, so in Crystal, you don't have any max repels, you use supers. Damn it. So I was supposed to max Ether already. No, I'm not doing Keiza charge. So I'm just gonna use that now. So bad menuing on my part. So in Crystal, you super repel earlier, then you max repel, and then when you use your second super repel, that's when you use your max ether. Whereas you're supposed to use your max ether immediately after you use max repel in goal. So anybody in chat wondering what Keiza charge means? I went up and around him. There's a spinner that's actually below where I went before we got to this gym. And dodging him saves 4 seconds, but hitting him costs like 30. Your speed, man. Your speed. What an awkward place for that to run out. So this gym is full of spinners, but they're not spinners we care about. Because they have zero vision, you have to talk to them. The thing about this gym is they're all dressed up as Janine. So this Janine fight is literally a joke. You just use return. That's really it. Nothing fancy. Yeah, the Crobat sprite in this game is trash. Alright, so the upcoming blue fight can be a little trolly because we have bad speed. And we have bad attack. Alright, she could use Dire Hit on Venomoth and it wastes just, you know, a couple seconds, like no big deal, but... Janine's under-leveled because you're not supposed to be fighting her this late. They had an idea of what order you should be fighting everybody, and they just kind of went with it. Like, Brock is supposed to be one of the last ones you fight. Brock, Blaine, Blue, I think is the intended order. I'm not entirely sure. So this is the last badge we need to get, and then we can unlock Mount Silver and fight Red. So this is literally the second to last fight. As such, it can be trolly. Also, that was a gold split. What the... I'm not understanding how I'm getting some gold splits here.
Well, your Kanto is clearly godlike then.
I guess. So we had the X speed because Alakazam outspeeds us, because this is the first fight in a while that we actually fight decent level stuff. I'm setting up a third X attack because our attack is horrible, and Executor is guaranteed to Solar Beam us. On old strats, he could use Sunny Day sometimes, and it would really suck because we used Surf a lot. But now everything dies, and we're faster than the Alakazam because of the X speed. To put it into perspective, we just got 125 speed. To speed tie Alakazam, you need 133. We are severely low on speed. So that Executor is a range at my attack with 2 X attacks, and so is this Gyarados. This Gyarados, I believe, is more favorable. But the third X attack puts us over the edge. That Arcanine can sometimes use extreme speed. I'm actually pleasantly surprised that he didn't. Yes, it'll be enough. Alright, so now we just go to Oak, get access to Mount Silver, and then we do the last fight in the game, guys. So, traditionally, if you haven't learned yet, in a Pokemon speedrun, when a runner needs to summon energy, we rely on the power of Kevin Turtle. Red is an extremely difficult fight. So Kevin Turtles would be much appreciated until we win. He can either Charm or Thunder. We want Charm. If he uses Thunder, we want to miss. If he hits us with Thunder, we're stuck in a loop until he misses, or until he runs out. Oops. It won't have any effect.
So this is where we find out if Chump is the real champ we need.
Indeed. We're definitely saving before this, though. I'd be a fool not to. Alright, this is an extremely difficult fight. Let's hope that we get a good start.
Good luck.
Thank you. We have to set up a guard spec so we don't get affected by Charm. We need an X speed and we need 2 X attacks. There's one. There's 2. There's 3. Perfect. So our only concern from here is Snorlax's range. I don't think Espeon is because we picked up the proteins, but Snorlax is a range. This made it look so much easier than it really is, this last fight. Like, we got a perfect setup. Oh, yeah, like I said, this Espeon's a range. I don't think it is for us. So we just need a good first roll on the Snorlax. If we get a bad one, then I set up an X attack and I have to tank a body slam. That's perfect. This was a perfect fight. This was a perfect red fight. The only thing that was short was like getting a valuable critical, but alright, we got 2 more pokes left, and then I'll call out time.
When's time?
Time will be as soon as it fades from the fight. Like as soon as the fight screen leaves. I'll call it out. So the only thing that can go wrong from here is Charizard can burn with Flamethrower, in which case we just finish him off with Surf. Oh, we might not even need to. We did so much damage. Alright, time's coming up. I just need to get this level up. And time. Alright, so no, we didn't get to sit through the credits last time, so I'll sit through these. Normally you hold B at these credits because it counts toward the in-game timer. So it actually adds, what is it, like a minute and a half of in-game time or something like that? But we'll just go ahead and let the credits play because everybody wanted to see the credits before.
Do you want to know your RTA time?
Sure. I want to see how close my timer was to yours.
It's 3 hours and 37 minutes and 21 seconds.
What were the nanoseconds? Or the milliseconds, I mean?
7-4.
Yo, my timer was 3:37:21:72.
Oh wow.
That is incredible. That is what I call beastly timing.
So would you say that the chump has officially become the champ?
We are going to change Chump the Champ. Oh, if somebody mentioned that they wanted to see the bug catching contest, I feel like since it's the end and since I was underestimate, we can show it off. I hope we can. Somebody needs to show me how to change date though. Like I'll change the date and we'll do the bug catching contest and then that'll be it from me. But that's gold. That was really rough compared to what it normally should go like. In no universe would I ever take that Totodile. In fact, that Totodile was so bad I don't even think Gunner would take it.
You're all clear.
Cool. I wonder what the in-game time was after the credits. It was a 3:32. That's horrible. So to put that into perspective, best known time is 3:18, world record is 3:20. Best known time is by _POY, and world record is a tie between myself, Worcester, and Keizaron. So that was a trash run, but you know, we did it. All right, I have to click on this link. All right, name raider is this guy. There we go. I think Chump earned it. Not Kenya! Well, Kenya's a perfect name, apparently. Yeah, to those of you that didn't know, if the Pokemon matches your trainer ID, you can change it. If it doesn't, then he says that it's perfect. Alright, buddy, you earned it. You had a perfect red fight. You earned it. Alright, so let's see. How do I do this? I'm saving now, because we're here. So I have to check my ID, my name, my ID number, and my money. Okay, so let's go here. Name is Cena. ID number is 15558. And my money was 105644. Alright, so we reset, holding down, select, and B. Okay. Yes. Oh wow, this is an annoying way to do it. Okay, 0111. Wow, this password is... What? Liar! It lied to me! Hold on.
I don't know what's happening right.
It lied to me! $105,644, yeah. 15558, yeah. Why didn't it work?
So sorry, what do you have to do?
I have to put in a password, and it's not working.
And I'm assuming your password is based on your
Cena,
trainer ID.
yeah, I have Cena in all caps. It's based on your name and your money. What if it's something stupid like you have to do it this way? Okay. I don't get it. So, what do I do? Maybe this one will work better. Okay. Cena. ID number 15558. Money 105644. Oh my god. You guys ready for this? This is stupid. So, we were told by Pokes that it was 01117. This is what it really is. 01118.
Okay.
All right, so let's make it early Tuesday morning. Like, let's just. Like, what's a good time for a bug catching contest? Like 9:30 in the morning, I think. That sounds good. Holy colors! Alright, we're gonna do the bug catching contest, and then that's gonna be it for me.
Okay, so for those of us that don't know, what is the bug catching contest?
So the bug catching contest is an event. It's a little mini game that you can do in gold, silver, and crystal. Now, I have to fight you? Alright, we have to fight somebody first. It's the easiest way to catch a rare bug besides Heracross. You get prizes for whichever Pokemon you catch. So it's literally just rank 1st through 3rd. I can't remember what all the prizes were, but typically you win it pretty easily if you get like a Scyther or a Pinsir. That's pretty much a guaranteed win. This guy has 3 Abras? Is that what I'm seeing? No, he has a Kadabra. We did it, boys. But yeah, we're gonna go for 1st place in the bug catching contest, so I can remain champ, and then we're good. I'll do all my shoutouts and blabbering after we do this. Hello. So we're gonna save, because if we don't get 1st, then it's not good enough. No! No, 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 no! No, that's not okay with me. I'm not using Feraligatr to try and catch stuff. Fool.
I don't think that'll go down well.
Did I got rid of Hypnosis for Poliwag? Oh no. That would have helped. Alright. Cena's trusting this guy. Alright, so this is similar to the Safari Zone in the sense of you have limited balls. So we have 20 minutes and 20 Park Balls. We have to get the strongest bug Pokemon that we can. I don't know if it was placebo effect or not, but I always went in this bigger grass when I was a kid. I felt like I had a better chance. So Metapod isn't going to win it for us. We need to find one of the rarer ones. Butterfree gives us a chance. Not a very good one. Pinsir and Scyther are basically guarantees. Beedrill, I think, is slightly better than Butterfree for rating. I wonder if we could be on our bike. I never actually... When I was a kid, I did this before I got the bike, so I should actually honestly just get on my bike and see if it works. Wow, I'm dumb. We did it. It's 20 minutes, 20 balls. Now, we're having a really hard time finding something good. There we go! So, I don't think that Water Gun will kill from here. Good enough.
I'm assuming this is exclusive to a certain day of the week.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Aww. Ouch. Yo, Scyther. Uh-oh, Scyther's getting pumped. Well. This is unfortunate.
Scyther just does not want to cooperate.
No, not at all. JK, we did it. Can I nickname you right now? No, I can't. Alright, let's see how we did. Third place was Bugcatcher Josh with a Scyther. Oh no. Picnicker Cindy with a Butterfree. And... Cena! We did it, boys and girls. We got a Sunstone. Okay, this is how you get Sunstones, by the way. That's so hype. We did it. I didn't even nickname it. It's so good. Alright, we did it. We got a Scyther.
And on top of everything, we got a Scyther to boot as well.
Indeed. Alright, so that, other than the bug catching contest, obviously, so that was gold. Like I had said before, it usually goes a lot better than that, but we were able to power through. Just want to give quick shout outs, all the Gen 2 community, underscore, Keizaron, Worcester, Sinstar, Crafted. Gen 2 has come a long way in the past few months, and we are getting times that are absolutely incredible compared to what we used to get last year. I want to give shout outs to the committee for making this possible, all the planning they did, all the scheduling, being able to persevere despite technical difficulties, rescheduling, so on and so forth. Shout outs to you guys for sticking around. This marathon was, in my opinion, successful. We could build upon this and make an even better marathon next year, hopefully. Shout outs to my mom and dad. Without them, I wouldn't be here, I guess. There's that. But yeah, so thanks guys for checking out the Pokemon Marathon. It means a lot to all of us that you stopped by, and it means a lot that we got all the support that we did.
Thank you very much, Keizaron, for the golden 80% glitchless run. So, you've given your thoughts briefly. So this marathon, because you're the last run, I'm going to ask you, this marathon, how has this marathon been for you?
Well, the marathons that I can compare this to are SGDQ and the Team Battle Network marathons. SGDQ is on its own plane, so that wouldn't be a fair comparison.
Course, yeah.
But compared to the Battle Network marathon, like both marathons were excellent in my mind. I would say that the only thing that we would really need to work on is some of the transition, which I think a lot of people in the chat would agree with. But I think in general, overall, this was a very successful marathon. It didn't have the problem that the Team BN marathon had in the sense of the audio. To me, from what I had seen, and I watched most of the marathon as much as I could, a lot of the audio was pretty consistent. We didn't have as many problems as they did. The thing that they had over us was they had setup times planned, so I think that's one of the only real things we could improve upon. But the marathon itself, I think overall was a success.
I have to totally replicate your comments there. This marathon has been absolutely amazing. Considering I went into this marathon expecting 100 viewers, and I would have been happy with 100 viewers. To get to peak at 2,800 a point has been absolutely insane.
And the support from you guys was amazing.
How great of a community this is, and how much there's still a lot of things we need to work on, but it's just going to be so great. I want to give, so there's two special shout outs that I want to give before we close up. One is to the Bomb Stew, because this is basically his child. He has done absolutely everything for this. I mean, the whole kind of like the hosting, the serves, everything has basically come out of his pocket. So I want to give a huge shout out to him. And also I want to give a shout out to our French restream as well, because wow, this is our first marathon and we have a restream. And I popped in there at one point and it was so amazing. I couldn't understand what was going on, but you can almost get like an atmosphere just by walking into there, and it's been absolutely amazing. And also, okay, one last shout out, and that's to everyone that's watched this, everyone that's hosted this. This has been absolutely insane. So okay, so we are gonna end the marathon now. I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone for watching. And
I have one more shout out.
Sorry, go ahead.
I want to give a shout out to Shenanigans because get shit on Gunner.
Well done. Well done. Right, okay, in true
Well done,
speedrunner
Keizaron.
fashion.
Thank you, the bomb, Stu.
Thank you,
Thanks
the
for
bombs.
pretty much doing all our shoutouts for us as well.
Hey, I might not have been like wholly prepared for like this train wreck of a run, but I was prepared for the end of it.
So do you want to say a few words to the bombs, Stu?
I think we've pretty much covered all the bases at this point.
Right, so in true speedrunner fashion, we're going to find someone to raid, of course, and I will close us out. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you when we do this again.